Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Mexico City, live from the beautiful Campo Marte. That's the standing. Van der Vleuten leads by a point over Malin Bayer-Janssen. She will be in here with H&M Indiana. Van der Vleuten is on Beauville. That's already an Olympic battle right there. Then Dreer, Koekoek, the number 2 from Doha. Said, who was on the podium here in 2019. The arena, 125 by 75 meters. And there comes Hilary Scott. 6, little bit long. Can she get out of the combination? Yes, and still clear. And with now 10 seconds left, this should work for Hilary Scott. Here she comes on her Grand Prix debut on the Longines Global Champions Tour. Hilary Scott is clear. And it is not Edwina Tubbs Alexander that flies the Irish flag. It is Hilary Scott, and look what it means to her. What a great round of jumping. Hilary Scott. Now to Abdel Said, one of 2 contenders in this Grand Prix. Look at how easy he adds the stride in this line as well. GNP Seguros. She has the power over the back rail. And now, does he cut the corner? Gets he get balanced? Yes, and now gets home. Here comes Abdel Said for 2 out of 2 in Mexico and Miami. Wow, the mare stepping up to the big level now at the age of 10. That is 2 clears in a row in the small box ring of Miami Beach. And here on the big open field of Mexico City. It is Michael Pender into the final line. He is good for the clock. And here comes Pender. And he does it as well. And that makes it 3. It is only the 2nd Grand Prix this horse has jumped. Here, the mare that wins back-to-back Grand Prix in Miami, 2022 and 2023, the phenomenal Calamandia. And the way she rides with those long reins nearly by her hips, it's not classical riding, but also Calamandia can have a fault. That makes it 8 in time, 8 penalties, 75, 5-7, successful campaign over these 2 stages in Miami and Mexico City, but here it's 8 penalties. The current number 4 on the Longines Global Champions Tour standings, Christian Koekoek, number 2 in Doha behind Philipp Weishaupt. Hind leg drags the top rail down. It's the vertical that faults. Brings him home on 8 penalties indeed, 75.81 seconds. Koekoek, nice van Zorgvliet. 7-time podium finisher at Peter de Vos, and the winner of course in London last year. He comes in on a forward 6. Oh, he has to get a big jump now. And then there are 2 fences left to jump with a time allowed of 78 seconds. De Vos, the vertical out of the way. Said already qualified as Belgian. And here comes De Vos, and he is in that mix. That makes it 2 Belgians in that group. It is David Will on My Prins van Dorperheide. Easy 6, and he's good for the time. And is he going to make it back-to-back, just like Abdel Said, who was also in that jump-off in Miami? There comes David Will, My Prins van Dorperheide, looking for the crown in Mexico City, clear, and the 5th to go. And also back-to-back. Horses jumping really out of their skin after the trip to Miami, now on the big ring. And David will challenge that field of 5 at the moment as last to go. What a pair this is. The first of the Olympic medalists. And do you see that white armband around the right arm of Michael van der Vleuten? Well, he is the championship leader. 5 should work well for him. Gets a little bit of a bend in that line, and the Olympic medalist is also in that group. 6 now. Wow, red hot jump off with Michael van der Vleuten. Crowd has produced a lot of horses, but remarkably this is only the 1st Grand Prix for Balutinho on Longines Global Champions Tour, of course. The last Grand Prix win dates back to Wiesbaden to 2013 with Cedric, but here, look at that, the horse has not broken a sweat. It is unbelievable. Over now to Eugenio Garza Perez with Contago. Listen to the eruption of sound. Listen to that. And listen to what it means. Look at what it means to him. 26, jumps clear in the Grand Prix, points down to Contago, and indeed, on his first ever LGCT Grand Prix, jumps clear. Malin Bayer-Jonsson needs to sit and stick in that group, stay in that group of clears to defend her position on the ranking. And she is just adding and adding to it as she keeps on giving. The gift that never stops giving is H&M Indiana with Malin Bayer-Jonsson. Hilary Scott, Abdel Said, Michael Bender, Peter de Vos, David Will, Michael van der Vleuten, Laura Kraut, Eugenio, Garza Perez as the only Mexican, and there she is, alone on her page. She deserves a page for herself, Malin Bayer-Jonsson and H&M Indiana. Grand Prix ring at Campo Marte, and we get ready for the jump off, the third jump off of the season in this vibrant Mexico City. Hilary Scott on Oaks Milky Way. And there's the fault, and with the low pace, she rode with her brain and not with her heart, but nevertheless that could not avoid the rail on Oaks Milky Way. Abdel Said is very early to go, and that is maybe the downside. Comes well into the competition, it falls. 4 penalties. He opens up to the last to get ahead of Hilary Scott, but also to secure his current position on the championship standings. Abdel Said, ladies and gentlemen, the Belgian with Bon Ami. Not really pushing, but it's almost smooth. And lands on the back rail. You could see that he jumped on the angle. It looked as he was about to jump to the outside of that line. But it is not clear. It is 4 penalties for the young Irishman. Peter de Vos rides Moms to Piet Larocque. And the big advantage is the enormous step of this mare. And he is riding with brain and not just with heart. He's also riding for the double clear. And de Vos heads for home to take the lead here in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Mexico City. Added stride, and de Vos puts another clear on the board. Once again, double clear. Moms to Piet Larocque and de Vos lead at altitude, lead in Mexico City. It is going to be the coronation of David Will and my Prince van Dorperheide. Here comes that split time. How much is the difference? Ooh, it's a lot. It's 2.5 seconds. He's going to shatter de Vos's time if he keeps it clear. Gives him nice and room to the upright. And here comes David Will. The last fence took him out of contention for the podium, for the win even in Miami. Will he make the same mistake again? You wouldn't think so. Sets him up. And there comes David Will for the finish and for the double clear finally. David Will leads by 3.7 seconds over Peter de Vos. And what went wrong in Miami does not go wrong in Mexico City. He's on top of the leaderboard. Van der Vleuten, aware that Malin Bayer-Jonsson is just 1 point behind him on the championship standings. To Longines at fence 13 and is faulted. And though with that, he now has to look at the time of Abdel Said as well. But he sinks behind David Will. That Laura Kraut, 43.16. After Wiesbaden 2013, is it now bingo for Balutinu and Laura Kraut adding to the last, and no, slower, 44.26, had to chip in the extra stride to the final fence, and that means, or makes the difference, a second behind on David Will. And the Mexican best ever result in an LGCT Grand Prix. Oh, and there it goes. And so it is not the case. Here she is, Malin Bayer-Jonsson. Rail is still standing. She's flying high over the fence. That costs time. She's a second behind. She's on a course to push de Vos out of the podium and to maybe take third herself. Here comes Malin Bayer-Jonsson. There is the finish. 3 seconds to get home. Sprint, sprint, sprint. and she doesn't make it. So it is David Will who wins the Grand Prix here in Mexico City. Malin Bayer-Johnsen is second, Laura Kraut is third, and Peter de Vos is fourth. We've presented this Grand Prix as the Grand Prix of the Star Horses. Well, that is what it is. The top four all jump double clear. Will wins the Grand Prix in Mexico City. Bayer-Johnsen is second and Kraut is third on that top Balutinho. De Vos with the other double clear.
I think I was quite fast from fence number 3 to 4. I got that really nice and fluent. Then I added one to the last. It was a little bit the safer option, and I thought that might cost me in the end, but I stayed lucky.
There are the standings. Malin Bayer-Johnsen is our new championship leader. Van der Vleuten is second, and Abdel Sayed is now third, really moving up. Also, David Wilter fourth, Dreyer drops, Koekkoek drops, and De Vos moves up. Another German win this season. That's 3 in a row after Weishaupt, Eckermann, and now Will. The Germans are taking it all in, and David Will wins his first ever Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix on My Prince van Dorperheide. David Will is crowned champion of Mexico City on My Prince van Dorperheide. He just needed 3 Grand Prix to win his first one. Behind him, Malin Bayer-Johnsen and Laura Kraut, who push up their statistics in Longines Global Champions Tour to complete the podium, and Bayer-Johnsen travels to Madrid as the championship leader. A great 4 days of top show jumping with an enthusiastic crowd lifting riders and horses to unseen heights. And with all of that done, we thank you for joining us here in Mexico City and can't wait to have you with us again in Madrid at the Club Campo de Fiera.